Okay, quick question for you. What happens when someone Googles your name right now? Seriously, take a second and imagine it. What actually comes up? If you're like most of us, it might just be an out of date LinkedIn profile, maybe a handful of random social media posts, or honestly, maybe there's nothing at all on that crucial first page. Well, whether you realize it or not, those exact search results, however fragmented or outdated they might be, that is your personal brand right now. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely strip away the fluff, the buzzwords, and all that anxiety that usually surrounds personal branding. We are diving into some incredibly insightful source material to help you take total control of your narrative. We're talking about moving away from just leaving your reputation to chance and learning how to actively expand your reach. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering how your brand already exists, controlling the narrative, defining your unique mission, building your digital assets, and finally, amplifying what works. Let's get right into it. Section 1, your brand already exists. Look, in our hyper-connected world, every single one of us already has a personal brand, whether we actively like it or not. Every single interaction you have, every old comment you've left online, every Zoom meeting you attend, it all forms this reputational narrative. Now, a lot of people hear the phrase personal branding, and they immediately think of, endless bragging or vanity or just shameless self-promotion, but our source material completely reframes this. Ron Mahaltra puts it perfectly. He says personal branding is simply how people feel about you in your presence and what they say about you in your absence. That really strips away the stigma, doesn't it? It's not about feeding your ego at all. It's simply about effective reputation management. Section 2, controlling the narrative. Since your reputation is already out there floating around, the stakes are actually pretty high. If you aren't highly conscious of how people perceive you, you end up giving off all these mixed signals, and you risk being entirely misunderstood by your peers, your clients, and your whole industry. You basically have a choice. You can take the passive approach, just leaving it to chance and the algorithms, which frankly is what causes those mixed signals, or you can make assertive, intentional decisions to shape the story, so your public image perfectly aligns with your true personality and your real skills. So, which side of that equation do you want to be on? Okay, let's dive into this. Section 3, defining your unique mission. The source material gives us a really solid 3-step blueprint for actively building out this narrative. First step, you've got to figure out your goal. You have to identify a specific outcome before anything else. Are you trying to land a promotion, transitioning to a totally new industry, launching a startup? Whatever it is, write it down. Step 2, get crystal clear on what you do, and actually, scratch that. We don't just mean your job title. You need to dig deep into the what, the how, and the why behind your work. And finally, step 3, define your audience. Who exactly out there can gain the absolute most from what you have to share? And this brilliantly illustrates a key point. Clarity absolutely beats cleverness every single time. The sources share this fascinating anecdote about a professional who branded herself as a deaf midwife. I mean, it kind of sounds more like an obscure indie band than a professional service, right? And honestly, it completely alienated her audience because no one knew what she meant. But when she simplified her title to grief counselor who helps families during a loss, boom, everyone instantly understood. The lesson here? Never sacrifice clarity just to sound unique. So let's see how this all crystallizes into a cohesive mission statement. It comes down to a very repeatable formula: who you are, what you do, and the exact transformation you create. Take Alma, for example. She's a teacher for third graders, and her transformation is fostering empathy and compassion in our classroom. Then there's Jennifer. She's a project manager in sustainable fashion, and she transforms customers into loyal brand advocates. If you apply this exact formula to yourself, you're going to generate a crystal clear mission statement that will guide literally every professional decision you make. Moving right along to Section 4, building your digital assets. Now that you've got this perfectly crafted mission statement, where is it actually supposed to live online? Well, your digital presence basically relies on 2 distinct powerhouses. First, your personal website. Think of this as your home base. It gives you absolute, deep control over your online reputation, and it lets you build genuine trust that goes way beyond a standard boring resume. Social media, on the flip side, isn't really about deep control. That is your vehicle for targeted reach, networking, and having helpful real-time engagement with your specific audience. But hey, here is a massive sigh of relief for anyone feeling totally overwhelmed by all this. You do not need to be everywhere. You really don't. The source material emphasizes picking just one aligned platform where your specific audience actually hangs out. If you're in the corporate world, maybe that's LinkedIn. If you're a creative, maybe it's Instagram or TikTok. Once you pick your spot, ruthlessly focus on bringing value. be genuinely helpful, share relevant ideas from your industry, and actively engage with your colleagues. Remember, it's about building community, not just broadcasting into the void. All right, bringing it home with Section 5, amplifying what works. This is where a well-managed, authentic personality turns into a seriously powerful brand in the public space. The sources highlight this modern growth loop that is absolutely crucial to understand. You don't just start by throwing money at ads. No way. First, you post organically. Second, you let the algorithm test that post with a small audience to see what actually resonates with real people. And third, only when you see organic success do you pour money onto those proven winners to amplify them. So the crucial point here is this: the creative is creating the reach. Literally, for the first time in marketing history, the sheer quality, authenticity, and helpfulness of your content is the actual engine driving your brand's distribution. You can't just buy a good reputation anymore. You have to create it through real value, and then let the algorithms reward your best work. Which brings us to a final, really important question to wrap up this explainer. Are you shaping your story, or are you letting algorithms do it for you? Because every single day you wait to take intentional control of your professional narrative is a day you're leaving your reputation up to chance. With a clear goal, a well-defined audience, and a true commitment to being genuinely helpful, you can build a brand that accelerates your career and honestly, just feels good to share. So get out there and start shaping your story today.